Hello, Internet. Welcome to another issue of the Ghostlight Social, the show where we bring creative people into your living room. We'll have a chat, we'll have a natter, we'll talk industry, we'll talk the future of things, we'll talk about careers, we'll talk about all sorts. And toilet roll usually comes up, which I have got. I'll just bring Lee in. Let me just. There we go. Out, Lee. How you going?
Oh, hello everyone. How we doing? How we doing, Mike?
I'm all right, I suppose.
Well, you're not all right, are you?
No. Viewers, I got an email today to tell me I was COVID positive, so thankfully, touch wood, I've got away with it, and I've only just had like a bit of a flu, but it's still scary shit, isn't it?
So, absolutely scary shit, yeah. And I mocked you, didn't I, last week? I think.
Yeah.
For saying that you were feeling not as normal. Anyway, I'm glad you're on the mend. Hopefully, you've turned the corner and we're plain sailing, because I can't do this by myself.
No, I mean, it's really hard to talk and push a button.
Yeah, it is quite hard. Yeah. I do like the fact that you introduced this current one as a. Oh, what did you say? No, you didn't say episode. You said
edition.
Edition.
Yeah.
No, you didn't say edition, did you?
I don't know, because I keep saying to myself, write down the intro, write it down and put it on some paper in front of you, and then just read it.
Considering you've never written it down, it's when I'm doing the highlights, it's usually pretty much the same. Yeah. I always cut it out, but it's usually
I noticed that because I looked at the last episode, because I were talking quite a lot in that, and then I'm like, where the fuck am I? And then one of the adverts as well, you've re-recorded your bit.
I had to.
And then I'm just like sat at the side in this thing, just every now and again going.
That's good, isn't it? It's good.
And then the only time I talk, you put on the who's coming up next. So I'm like, yeah, adios from the bunkers. You can't see me.
Yeah, but I had to do that because we messed up at the end of the episode. We messed up the next episode thing, so I had to redo it.
Who messed up?
But I said I messed it up. Yeah. So I apologise.
That's all right.
Look, anyway, let's get on with proceedings, and remind everybody, because I always forget, to subscribe and press the button and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing I wanted to say, Mike, is I've put a shirt on today because after our chat with Kelly, last week, when she said she got those. Yeah, when she said that she got those emails saying, asking her if she could do the sports brand because she was an influencer, #influencer. I'm thinking that if I dress a bit smarter, now that we're YouTube creators, I might get asked to be an influencer.
I mean, like,
what do you reckon?
Lambretta might come along and say, "Can you wear one of these little polo shirts for us?"
Yeah, listen, beggars can't be choosers. I'm up for that. That's absolutely fine.
I quite like Lambretta stuff. I don't really wear it, but I quite like the style.
Okay, good. Well, there you go.
That's just, yeah.
Now, look, before we get cracking, have you got anything to share with us?
I haven't got anything to visually share with you, but I have got something to share.
Go on then.
So during my isolation with COVID for the last week, I binged Devs on the iPlayer. It's a Fox show which BBC have bought and been showing. Devs, yeah. With what's he called? He was in Parks and Recs.
It's American, is it?
Yeah, it's an American show, and it is astounding. Alex Garland wrote and directed it. He was the guy who wrote the Dredd movie. He wrote and directed Ex Machina. He wrote and directed Annihilation, and he's a really, really brilliant kind of dude. Gives a job, Alex Garland. And this show is amazing. Is
it sci-fi? What is it?
It's near future. The guy from Parks and Rec, whose name escapes me completely, and I've been like trying to find him on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
Close the door. He's really great, and I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? So he runs a tech firm.
Yeah.
And it's all about AI and all this kind of stuff. And you start off with this Russian dude and his girlfriend going into work, and he gets picked for this special department in this tech company called Devs, and it's hidden in a little forest, and it's all kind of really weird kind of surroundings and stuff, and at the end of the first episode, you find out that he's a Russian spy and he's been stealing this code they've been doing, and they kill him at the end of the first. So you're following him through the first episode. Well, it's the end of the first episode. It's not really spoiling it.
Not a lot of point in watching that, then, is there?
Yeah, because there's like another 7 episodes where it just goes mental.
Okay, so that's Devs, and it's on the iPlayer.
It's on the iPlayer, and it's fantastic.
Excellent.
I cannot recommend it enough. There's very few programs which capture me as much as that one does.
You're very animated, so it's probably the most animated you've been for 3 weeks. Yeah. So that's
brilliant. I'm also just going to say hello to everybody in the chat. The chat has just gone mental. So thanks, everybody. There's a lot of new viewers there. Welcome to the Ghostlight Social. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Oh, you're good. Aren't you good, you? Aren't you good? Look, I'm going to share my screen really quickly because I've not got many because I'm getting a bit bored with it, quite frankly. Let's just hang on. Let me just move that. I'll start sharing that screen instead because otherwise
it's going to be Pornhub.
It's going to be weird. It's not going to be Pornhub. Oh my God, you're already bringing it down. Right, BBC Culture. This is Culture in Quarantine, and there's loads of. When somebody told me about it, I was like, oh, it's just going to be a bit pants. But actually, there's some really good stuff on there, and there's a wide variety of art, books, literature, gaming. There's all sorts of stuff, and like little blog. It's like a bloggy sort of, just loads of content, basically. Why cinemas will enjoy the crisis. Good read. So that's worth having a look at. And the other thing is that VoiceOver Tribe are doing a 21-day voiceover challenge. So anybody that's, I know a lot of actors are out there getting into this sort of stuff at the moment because, quite frankly, we can't do anything else. But that's a really useful thing. I've done that. They do it periodically, and I've done that before, and it's really interesting. So have a look at that. That's me. I'm not doing any more. So I'm coming back to you, Michael.
Hello.
Anything else before we jump into our guests?
Yeah, James in the chat, who I think you might know. Lovely shirt, Lee. Is it Burton's?
I don't know. Which James is it? Because I haven't got.
It's James Redmond.
So oh, Redders. Well, it's a little Farah number, Redders. I think you've probably seen it before, to be fair. I've only got about 7 shirts. But nice of you to join us anyway. Hopefully he'll come on in a future episode. I'll be in touch, James.
Yeah. Should we introduce as guests then? Anyway.
Let's introduce our guests. Let's do that. So, joining us today, are you putting them on screen now or after I've spoken?
After you've spoken, we're going to build it up.
We're going to build it up. We have, let's have a drum roll. We have the lovely Liz Carney with us, and we also have Kai Owen joining us all the way from Coventry these days, I believe. Not his. Are we on? Are we on? Hi, both.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, man.
Good, thanks.
Now, Kai, you're Welsh, right? That's your thing.
I am. That's it, basically. That's all you need to know. And then, that's pretty much it. Welsh guy, and then I'm there. Yeah.
Is it the fact that there's no football and no rugby killing you?
Oh, isn't it just, man? Oh my God, it's killing me. I miss it so much.
No.
But yeah, getting through.
Good. And Liz, is the fact that there's no rugby and football killing you?
Well, there is in my life right now. Brad is addicted to Football Manager. Okay. You know the game?
Yeah. Brilliant.
But it's fantastic because it means that he just goes upstairs and I don't see him for hours. Okay. So I get run of the television. It's great.
So he's not brought the Xbox or the PS4 downstairs to the main telly?
No, thank goodness. So I wouldn't allow that.
Does he play that on laptop or?
Yeah, it's on his laptop.
It's such a good game.
Oh, he's addicted. Honestly, I don't see him for hours sometimes.
Yeah, it's such a good game. I haven't played it for years. I might resurrect it.
What is it? Football Manager?
Yeah, that's it. Football Manager. Championship Manager.
You manage a team, I think. So he's obviously started off with Blackburn Rovers. No, he started off with Man City, actually. Sorry, Kai.
Easy. Yeah.
But he said it was too easy, so now he's on to Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, that's the challenge. And he's got to get promoted with them and all that. It's a great game.
Yeah. I hear him shouting now.
You have got to pick like the worst team and try and get them to a Champions League final within like 5 seasons or something. That's the goal, isn't it?
Like Manchester United, you mean? Pick Manchester United.
Yeah. I would always be United and still not win.
So look, while we're on, because we've mentioned football, we don't usually talk that much football, but let's talk very quickly. Let's talk about, first of all, the Premier League. Are they going to finish it, Kai?
I don't know. I mean, they've just cancelled the Dutch division, haven't they? The Eredivisie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And if they do bring it back, it'll have to be condensed really quickly behind closed doors. I think if they can, they should. But I don't know whether they will. I really, really don't. I think it should be. It's going to be really hard. But I think it'll be. And it's not because United weren't really doing anything at all, and I think it's a shame for some of the clubs in relegation and promotion wise and all that. But I think if they can finish it, they should, and do it behind closed doors. But who knows?
Liz?
Yes.
Great answer.
The best. So we had Reece Dinsdale on last week, and this won't happen because there's too much money at stake. But he was saying that he felt like, if we can't get this season finished, not with crowds, it's never going to happen. It'll have to be behind closed doors. But then the problem is, if they're talking about social distancing for another 12 months, when is next season going to start? So would it not make more sense to scrap next season and finish this season starting in February next year? Finish the season off, run into the Euros, then we start again. Because when's next season going to start? January.
Yeah.
Are they gonna let 40,000 people into a stadium in January? Don't know. Doubt it. Can't see it.
I heard a couple of things this week where they were talking about average points for the season. So take what your average points is per game this season, and apply it over the 38 games.
I'll take that.
Which for a lot of teams in the top half would be quite happy. I mean, as a West Ham fan, I'd be quite happy because I think we're coming 17th, so we just managed survival. So I'm quite down for that. But with that comes relegation, which I don't think is fair then, because then you've got years and years of litigation, haven't you, from those relegated teams?
Well, that's the problem. That is the problem. But also litigate if they scrap the season. I'm not getting into this again. But scrap the season again. You know how much money have West Bromwich Albion and Leeds, in the Championship spent to get in that position? They're going to get sued. Basically. It's
a massive debate, really, because for behind closed doors is one thing, and that's fair enough. But it's the crowds. You can't have 40,000 people. No. And I can't see that happening. So who knows?
No. Yeah. Okay, well, we could talk about that forever, but I'm not going to. So, let's jump straight into some questions, if that's all right. I'm going to come to you, Liz, first, if that's all right. Mm-hmm. Have you got a song for our isolation playlist? We've been putting this playlist together, and I can't remember what's on it right now, but Mike's going to get it up, and he's going to tell us in a minute.
All right.
But
give me a chance.
Have you got a song for us?
I have. I mean, what a question. It's one of them, what's your top 5 films and songs, and it took me ages to decide. I've come up with Grounds for Divorce, Elbow.
I like it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the situation or anything.
Okay, why?
Well, when me and Brad started going out together, he did me a mix CD, and I'd never heard this song.
A mixtape.
You say mixtape?
Well, a mixtape,
yeah, exactly.
But it was a CD. Come on.
A mixed Betamax.
And this song was on it, and I'd never heard it before.
Right.
And so, and also, I just love the song. It's a great song. We've seen Elbow. I'm not really like a massive Elbow fan, but there's just certain songs of theirs that I really love. And we saw them a couple of times at Glastonbury, and he's just got such a lovely rapport with the audience and everything. He just comes across as such a lovely guy, right down to earth and all that. So yeah, that's my choice.
Excellent. It's a great choice. Love it. We haven't had any repeats yet, have we?
No.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Kai, what have you got for us? Don't let me down, because I've had a few messages actually saying Kai will definitely choose this
Queen.
not the exact song, but this type of song.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going for Queen.
Of course you are.
Just because because I'm such a massive fan and a massive fan of Freddie for the start, and I think whenever I struggle or whenever I want to get a bit of motivation, or if I'm running or gymming or doing something like that, Queen are the ones lifting me up. Freddie himself moves me like no other, really, in that way. And I think I've been listening to the Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack from the film a lot, and there's a song on there called "Keep Yourself Alive." So it's "Keep Yourself Alive," obviously, for the obvious reasons, and the actual recording of it from the film was recorded live at the Rainbow Theatre in Finsbury Park, where I just finished rehearsing the play that I'd done before lockdown started.
Oh, you rehearsed it down there?
By Out of Joint's just around the corner from the old Rainbow. Of course
it is. Yes. Yeah.
So Keep Yourself Alive from the first ever Queen album, Queen.
I don't know that song. Don't know it.
Do you like it, Mark? Good, isn't it?
It's sweet. I mean, I grew up with my old man was a big Queen fan, so yeah, any Queen, cracking.
Yeah.
And
Fair
that's
enough.
just amazing as well, isn't it? The Bohemian Rhapsody film.
Yeah.
I watched it with you, didn't I, Liz? In Swindon. So yeah.
In Swindon.
Yeah. Not a lot else to do in Swindon, really, is there?
And
living the dream.
And so it was, just a good. It's a great song.
Yeah, I've not seen the film yet. I've not seen it. I need to watch
it. I've got it on DVD as well. I'll burn your copy.
I'll burn your copy. I can probably download it from somewhere.
Extra man.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of love for Freddie and Queen in the chat as well, so that's a very good choice.
Fair dues.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So Liz, coming back. Go on.
Do you want me to go? You've made me bring this playlist up. Do you want me to go through it?
Go on then. Tell us. Just give us some highlights.
So the first one, which I think is the best one so far, not because of the song, but particularly, I just thought it was hilarious, and it's The Police. Don't Stand So Close to Me.
I think it was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that? I think it was Stevie that put that on.
Yeah. Jonas Blue, Paloma Faith, Mistakes, Oasis, Whatever.
Guess who put Oasis, Whatever on? Yeah.
Joe Gill. Darcy Ed.
ABBA, Super Trooper. It's already updated with Queen there. Brilliant. Style Council, Walls Come Tumbling Down, Delight, Grooves in the Heart. It's brilliant. Go have a look once you've finished watching us. Go have a look at our channel. Scroll down and you'll see the playlist there, and have a boogie along while you're sat at home. Yeah. Sick of watching This Morning. Stick that on.
Oh, that's the way you say about This Morning. It's getting to a funny old world when the only person in the media that I agree with is Piers Morgan.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's just like, he's the only man talking sense. It's just, I don't know what's going on with the world.
You know, love him or hate him, he's been great in this.
Yeah, he has.
He's used his platform well.
Yeah, fair play to him. Okay, so I'll go back to Liz. Most coronavirus thing you've done, Liz?
Most coronavirus thing I've done. I had the test.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How did you get the test?
This was right back at the beginning, because I had some of the symptoms, and we'd been to northern Italy, to Bergamo, like just 2 weeks prior to that. So I was getting a little bit worried, and Brad just said, "Look, just ring 111 and see what they say." So I did, and they went, "Look, we'll give you the test." So this was obviously before, it all kicked off, really. But it was like you were saying before, Mac, it was like they came to my front door. I wasn't allowed like anywhere near them. It had to be done at the front door as well. So I've got people walking past, like going, "What's going on?"
So they actually came out to you, did they?
Yeah, they did.
At the door?
Yeah.
Wow.
They came with all this, completely covered, with all the masks on and everything, and stuck a cotton bud up my nose and down my throat. And
yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice.
No, it wasn't. But it was negative.
Did you get pictures for posterity?
I did, but off my balcony like this, so they wouldn't see me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully you didn't have it. So that's probably one of the best coronavirus stories we've had.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good. It's really good.
It's great content. Glad you survived.
Yeah.
I know, too.
How was it in Italy? Horrible.
No, it was lovely.
I bet it was.
It's really quiet. Hardly anybody around.
We were supposed to be going again last week. We were supposed to be in Sorrento last week, but obviously we had to cancel that, so never mind.
Yeah, how selfish.
I know.
So, Kai, what have you got for us? What's the most coronavirus thing you've done?
Other than braving the shave for the NHS.
Oh, well done.
Probably that really. And I've done my boy Bobby did this for me, and I've done his, and it didn't go well at all.
Why not? Why?
Oh, Bobby's got lovely hair. Well, he did. And he's got lovely wavy hair at the front, like the quip and all that. And I said, come on, do it. So he did mine. Took about 3 or 4 days to get him round to it. And I did. It didn't go well at all.
Did we have tears?
He's devastated. Devastated. He's not as short as this, but yeah, he's devastated. He misses it, and he looks great. It really suits him. But he was devo. So it was a really bad day of like looking in the mirror, going, "I can't believe what you've done." Like he's trying to pull it, going, "Oh!"
To give him some soil.
I assume you explained to him by the time he goes back to school he'll have a massive full head of hair again.
Yeah. So that's probably it, really. And I tell you, I do love the round of applause on a Thursday night. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm amazed, but I was talking to I took some shopping around for my parents, and my dad said, "Are you clapping on a Thursday?" And I said, "Well, of course I am." And he said, "How many in your street are clapping?" Because we live like in a little cul-de-sac. And I said, "Oh, probably 75% of the street are out."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh," he said, "there's hardly anybody out on our street clapping. Miserable bastards." It's like, it's not about being miserable. It's just like, why would you not get out there and do it? It's like,
yeah.
My mum and dad was the same. On the first week they went out, "Oh, did you go out? Did you clap?" They went, "Well, we did, but we were the only ones on their street to be clapping." Like, what's up with everyone? That's terrible.
I know. Get out there and clap, people.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okie dokie. So what the hell does that say? Oh yes. Okay. So I did have a question, which was, how many monologues have you watched in the last 48 hours? Because there's a lot of them on the internet, isn't there? There's a lot of monologues and stuff out there. Now, it has been suggested to me that that's a little negative because I may have been mocking.
No, really?
It has been suggested. Right? I'm not mocking anyone.
No.
I can't watch any more monologues. That's all.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. So I've changed the question to, what have you been doing, if anything, creatively to keep yourself busy? Kai.
Creatively, you know what? I really have. I love reading, so I've been reading loads.
Great.
And actually, getting taught a lot from the homeschooling. Resitting my year 3 maths.
I was just going to say, how old's Bobby? How old?
Yeah, he's 10. He's just turned 10. So relearning like long division, amazing. So things like that. So homeschooling is brilliant. But I've been reading lots, mate. I love reading, and that's what I've been doing really creatively. I haven't really watched a great deal of telly sort of thing either, even though people are binge watching stuff and all that. I haven't really done that, so I prefer to sort of have a good book, really. So I've been reading some belters.
Yeah, fair enough. I hadn't been reading at all up until this week, and I just thought to myself, this is ridiculous. What are you doing? We've got shelves and shelves of books. Just pick them up and read them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to read. I'm going to try. I haven't managed it yet, but I'm going to try and read a play a day and also start a book. Because I think, because why not? Why not? Brilliant. Liz?
Creative, probably DIY. Is that creative?
Yes, absolutely creative.
I've been upcycling loads of my drawers and stuff.
What do you mean?
Drawers as in? Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So we've got this horrible kind of orange pine stuff, a lot of that in the house, and I've never really liked it. So I've just decided I bought a sander. So I'm a girl with a tool.
That doesn't sound like essential shopping to me, Liz.
No, well, I bought it online.
Still.
Taking somebody's delivery slot there.
Yeah.
Well, no, I went to pick it up from Argos. No.
Well, again, that's not essential
Again,
shopping,
that's
Liz. No, not great.
No,
But go on. Go on. What have you been doing?
So,
with
so I'm just sanding everything.
And are you doing so like with drawers and stuff? Are you doing that? You know, you get those sort of pastel blues and greens and do like the drawers different colours and have fancy knobs. Is that what you're doing?
Kind of, yeah. But I've just been up in the loft and found paint, so it's just gonna have to be. I've got like it's like a creamy colour, so I'm sanding all the tops down and then painting all the drawers and sanding the sides. And I've bought some knobs, but my knobs don't fit.
What do you mean they don't fit?
Nothing
How can they not
works.
fit?
Well, they only go so far, so they're all loose.
You need shorter bolts, shorter.
I do, but they just came with it, so I don't know what to do. I'm gonna
Get a hacksaw and just saw them down a little bit.
Oh gosh, that's not essential shopping either, though, and I don't have a hacksaw.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was going to say, just from the chat, any book recommendations, Lee?
Who's asked that?
Beth.
Oh, okay. Any book recommended? Well, I'll tell you what I'm reading at the moment, actually. Well, no, actually, what I've just started is Peter Brook's The Empty Space, which is a sort of a drama school book, which I remember reading it at drama school. Well, no, actually at university, Mike, because Mike and I went to the same university. And I remember thinking, God, this is shit. But actually, it's quite good.
University?
It's about, well, the university was shit, yeah. But the book. So that, and I'll have a think about the others.
Okay.
What I do quite like. I quite like young adult books. So there is a series of books called. The first one's called The Knife of Never Letting Go, and I can't remember who it's by now. But it's part of a trilogy, and they're really, really good. It's about a young guy who lives in this village, and there's no women, or he thinks there's no women on this planet. And it's sort of like it's almost like the human race has had to leave Earth. It's not sci-fi particularly, but you assume that for some reason the human race has had to leave Earth and gone somewhere else. And he's on this planet. It's about his adventures, and that's really, really good. So The Knife of Never Letting Go, that's really good. So, but you were talking about being creative, Liz, and upcycling, or what did you call it upcycling?
Upcycling, yeah.
I meant to put this on Twitter so I could pull it up, and I've forgotten. I made, in the last couple of days, can you see that?
Lovely.
That's the planter.
Little planter, because we've got we've got a stupid dog who, if we put anything in the ground, he just digs it up. So we're going to have to raise everything up. So I made that out of old wood in the garden.
Very good.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to mark it out of 10, but there you go.
10.
7.
Thank you. Thanks so much. 7?
Yeah.
We have been. I mean, if you're talking creative, we have been planting vegetables.
Have you?
Yeah. And
Nice.
stuff. And we yesterday, I got some tadpoles and made a little pond.
You got some tadpoles from? What do you mean you got some tadpole? Where do you get tadpoles?
From a pond in the woods.
Oh, I see.
Scooped some tadpoles in a little bottle and brought them home for Bobby, and made a little pond in the back garden.
Very nice. And are these tadpoles thriving?
There's about 12 of them. They're looking okay so far. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What do they need, tadpoles? Do you need to do anything with them? Or
well, if you're outside, they can survive a bit better. But if they're inside, you've got to look after them and change the water. So I've just put them outside and given them some fish food.
Is that what you do?
Apparently.
Apparently says who?
Google.
Fair enough. Keep us posted on your Instagram with the frogs.
The tadpoles, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, good. So I'll come to you. I'll stay with you, Kai. What's been your vice during lockdown? What have you been indulging in? I've
been indulging in God, a good question, really. I think I've been sort of. I'm gonna have to say reading again. Whenever I've got a bit of spare time, I have been sort of getting lost in a book and things. And it's we're all there's 3 of us here, and Bobby's full on with the schooling and things and all that. So whenever I can have half hour when he has a reading time, which the school recommends, I'll have a reading time as well. We've also been playing a lot of board games, and that's been really nice. We've been playing Yahtzee, which is a classic.
Love Yahtzee.
And so we've been playing a lot of Yahtzee. Bob hadn't played it before, so he's into that, and he's very good at it actually. And I still haven't won a game. So that's kind of a daily game of that and some reading and things, Yeah.
You still keeping fit? You still running?
Yeah. I'm still going out running and stuff as much as I can, and doing some home workouts and things. Yeah, as much as I can. I do miss the gym, but it's running especially keeps your head sane.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Liz, do I need to ask?
What do you mean? Do you know what? You'll be very proud of me. I've not really been drinking at all since
really?
lockdown.
Well done.
Thank you. Because we're quite a social couple, and we like to go to the pub, of course, and because we can't, and we don't really drink that much at home anyway, so it's not been a thing. So it's been all right, really. So I've been doing a lot of running. Like Kai, I go out for my 5k a day. Or if I don't go and run, I'll do a workout, like a home workout. And I've been doing baking as well.
Are you doing 5k a day?
Yeah, I'll show you.
No, I believe you. I believe you because I've seen it. But yeah, good, great. I wish I could get into running. I really do. I just bores the hell out of me.
I think people are realizing during this time now how people sort of miss physical activity and stuff, and how much it helps. I think, and it really does help. Anybody struggling with that and all that, and it does help.
Yeah,
just getting out and doing something, and any sort of exercise, especially when everybody's cooped up. You know what I mean? I think it's you realize how much it's important to you, and how much if you don't do it, how much you miss it, and it affects you. So it affects me.
Yeah, absolutely. To be fair,
but some people just can't. But actually, once you start, you do get the running bug, don't you? And then
yeah.
Do you know what I've tried? I've tried. I don't. Maybe I'm just too bloody lazy. But
have you not been doing any exercise then?
No. I have. I've been doing quite a bit because I do stuff with the kids. So we do, and we're going to do some circuit training stuff, some skipping. Yeah. We've got a pogo stick and
brilliant.
Yeah, and a trampoline and stuff. So we've been, but the pogo stick, I mean, that's hard work. That really hard work.
Well, everyone's been doing that hula hooping as well, haven't they, recently? That's become like a thing.
That's I remember that being really easy at school. And now.
Yeah.
You've been doing Joe Wicks, Liz?
Yes. How amazing. A clap for Joe Wicks.
Yeah, clap for Joe Wicks.
He's so good, isn't he?
Yeah, amazing.
So, and because I thought his workouts were just for kids, so I wasn't doing them at first. And then I went for a run. I thought, go on, I'll just do a quick 20 minutes. And they're actually quite hard, aren't they? They're just like his normal workouts. I mean, it's when it does the Spider-Man and the bunny hops and stuff, I kind of adapt it. Because I don't want to look like an idiot, but...
Well, it's
I have.
It's one of those workouts that it depends how much effort you put in, doesn't it?
Yes.
As to whether it's difficult or not, and certainly
self-motivation. How hard you push yourself? Yeah.
Absolutely. Good. Okay. Fair enough. Excellent. Liz, how many toilet rolls you've got in the house?
Oh, we've got quite a lot actually at the minute because.
How many, Liz? How many?
He bought 24, and I think we already had about 3 in.
He bought 24. How many of you are in the flat?
2.
24 toilet rolls. So you've got 20.
They'll last us though.
You've got 26 toilet rolls.
Yeah, probably 27.
Would you not? So here's a question: would you normally have that many toilet rolls?
Yeah, because we'll normally buy a massive bag of like a bumper pack, and then we don't have to go again then for another month.
Okay, fair enough.
I've got. I've got.
Yeah, we're not stockpiling.
Whatever. You've got what?
I've got an addition. the other week, I think I said I had like 24 or something like that. Because what they say, we buy the bumper pack. Bought a bumper pack, and then whilst putting those away, we found 8 snowmen toilet rolls from Christmas. So we've now got 40.
Right. Okay. First of all, buying toilet roll, festive toilet roll. There's something radically wrong with that.
Oh, I tell you, every year we have festive toilet roll and festive kitchen roll, all snowman themed.
Right. Okay. So now, how many toilet rolls have you got in the house?
It's about 40.
Oh my God, Mike. Kai, don't let me down. Come on.
About 9, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's 3 of you, and how many toilet rolls does one person need?
Yeah, about 9. I do think I was just when you were answering the question, I had a quick tot up. Going, yeah, about 9.
Well, that puts Mike third actually, because Dominic had 55.
Yeah.
And who was it that had about 50? Somebody had about 50.
Was it Becca?
Yeah, it was Becca. Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. That's the toilet roll stuff out of the way. Kai, you mentioned it earlier, but what were you working on before we got locked down?
Yeah, I was working on a play called The Glee Club, produced by Out of Joint, and we were just starting off on a nice big tour before going into London for a 5-week run, and sadly it all just got halted along with everything else. We've done 2.5 weeks. We opened up in Doncaster, rehearsed in London, Finsbury Park, and then we opened up in Doncaster, did a week and a half there, and then we went to Theatre Clwyd for a week, and then and that was the last of it really. There we closed their brilliant play by Richard Cameron, and I was loving it. Great bunch of people, and so sadly all finished.
Yeah, and what's do we know what's happening with it? Have they said?
It's completely it's cancelled now. So I think they would like to maybe put it on again one day. It was such a good play, and it gone down really well, I think. And a great Out of Joint have been incredible with us and to work for before, during, and even now. Their support they've given is amazing. So they're a great company to work for. So I do hope we get a chance to do it again, because they deserve for it to be out on the road and to recoup what they deserve, because they're a really brilliant theatre company, and they deserve to get some good sort of a good run out of it, because it's a really belter of a play.
Yeah, it's good.
And there was it was quite a big tour, wasn't it? You were going all over.
Oh yeah, no, it was we were still going to be on tour now. It was touring from pretty much beginning of March right through until end of May. And then a June run at the Kiln in London. So it was it was going up to Leeds, Newcastle, all over the place. A lovely tour.
And lots of different sized theatres as well, wasn't there? There was
some lovely, all down to like people like Bury St Edmunds, which not really thought about going to before. Then up to Leeds, West Yorkshire Players, Harrogate, I was really looking forward to do.
Yeah.
So some Lichfield, Garrick, some lovely little venues, beautiful little theatres. So. Hopefully they'll be able to bring it back, because it deserves to be seen. Yeah,
fair enough. Didn't get to see it. I was going to go see it in Oldham actually, because you were going to Oldham, weren't you?
Oldham Coliseum, I know. Yeah. Had you just finished, mate? We
just finished before it locked down. It was just we were in the final week, and it was starting. There was starting to be rumbles about they might only let 200 people in, or whatever it might be. But luckily we'd finished.
We were at Theatre Clwyd the week before it all, and actually the weeks leading up to it, Clwyd was selling really well, and a few places where especially towards like the Thursday and Friday, Saturday kind of thing. But we did notice when we got to Clwyd, because there's some days on the website would say that it's completely, only like last back 3 rows available, sort of thing, like 450 seats had gone. But as the week went on, less and less people were turning up. You know what I mean? You could see, oh no, it's going to go, and it's sad. From a well-supported theatre like that, people were just making their own decisions of going, I need to stay in. So people were doing it before anything happened, really.
Yeah, and that was always going to be the problem, wasn't it? Even if they'd have said, "Oh, you can let, if you've got 500 capacity, you can let 200 in," they just wouldn't have come. Wouldn't have come.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. That was exactly it.
Yeah. Sad. Well, I hope it goes back out again.
Yeah. So do I.
certainly for an amazing company like that as well, because we'll probably talk about this a little bit later on, but you hope that those smaller theatres and companies like that survive this. That
exactly.
that they can
need to. Yeah.
They need to, definitely. Liz, what were you working on? You just no, well, that's fine. But you just had the thing at the Lowry and what have you just finished, or was that before Christmas?
No, that was way before Christmas.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I did an Emmerdale at Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that was on, and then.
And that was the 506th time you've done Emmerdale, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, just give me a recurring role. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've done it 4 times. There's 4 different people now.
Yeah. I was looking at your IMDb pages beforehand, and I did notice that Kai had done Doctors about 5 million times as well. They're different. I think 3 times in 1 year.
Oh yeah.
So Emmerdale, tell me about that. What was that?
It was great. Yeah, just it's a bit of a small part again, but she was a nice, fun character to play. And the director was lovely, and he's like, we'll be seeing you again, at the end and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay. And then you don't hear anything. So it's fine. Just crack on, don't you, and wait for and I've had a few theatre auditions and what have you. So we'll just see. We just don't know what's happening or do it at the moment. So.
No. And I think one thing about being an actor, a jobbing actor, is that we're sort of used to this, being sat around. But the worrying thing is that what we're not used to is sort of the phone not ringing, at least with the odd inquiry.
I think that's the thing. You we're used to sitting around and waiting and not doing much in isolation and not having any money coming in and things. But at least you go, well, look, I could get a call next week. Things change, because we all know that happens within. But actually there's nothing happening at the moment. No. So that is the scary thing.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you think, oh well, surely like a self-tape might come in or something, but then you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So there's nothing to audition for, is there? It's like
there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yes!
And then all of a sudden there's this like snippet of, there's this casting, could you get this self-tape in by Monday? And you're thinking, oh, okay, let's do that. And then you think, actually, I will do it, obviously, but there will be about 500,000 people who will have done this self-tape to send.
And they're penciling you in for July 2022.
Yeah. Can you make yourself available? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna swap these questions around because we're sort of on it anyway. And I'll start with you, Liz. What are your is it hopes and fears? What do you think the industry is going to look like, or what do you hope will happen? What's your feeling on that?
Well, like I just said, I think it's all just up in the air, isn't it, at the moment? Nothing is certain, nothing's put in stone, so everybody's just in the same boat. Absolutely no idea what's going to go on. I mean, with any luck, once the theatres open, there'll be a big boom, and people will be that desperate to get out and have a bit of culture in their life that there will be a boom. But then on the other side of that, people are still going to be hesitant, I think, to be, in big theatres, in a confined space, really, aren't you, with a load of people. So will they come out? It's just one of them, isn't it? But theatres must be being like financially crippled at the moment, with just nothing going on. So that's a big worry. Because, I mean, there's not much money in this business as it is there? So this is the last thing we need, really. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, when do we think they're going to be open? June, July? Maybe even later than that, I think.
Yeah. It strikes me that television and filming will probably start up before theatres. With
a skeleton staff, maybe, crew kind of thing.
Well, yeah, we had this conversation with quite a few people who were saying, one of the potential problems for creatives within especially in filming, is that at the moment we have shows going on and things happening with skeleton staff, and we're going to come out of the end at the back of this, and you're going to have a load of money men sort of saying, well, hang on a minute, you don't need all these people. We've managed on You know,
I don't thought about that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a worry. So as an actor, I suppose they'll always need in front of camera talent, but you worry about our colleagues behind the camera when, you know, are there going to be the jobs available that were there before? I don't know.
That's a great point.
And as far as theatres are concerned, I can't see it, but I pray that they open before Panto, so that these, especially the smaller theatres, can have a pantomime, because they're knackered without them.
That's certainly true for Oldham. Sorry, Kai.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Their income is all Panto.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think of two little theatres that I've worked at, Oldham Coliseum, the hundreds in the same boat. Oldham Coliseum, Wakefield Theatre Royal. You know, without theatres like that, lovely old theatres, great tradition. Without the pantomimes, they're knackered.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I don't hold much hope for theatre. I do think TV and film will start up before theatre, because as well as you know, I hope what would be great in the ideal world is that the smaller theatres, because the big commercial pantos that I have worked for and maybe will again, you know, they have got plenty of money. They've got money, so that's okay. They can take a hit. It's those theatres that can't afford to take a hit. They just can't take a hit. So maybe it'll be like, you know, so that anything below 700 or 500 seaters, maybe they can go ahead. But like, you're talking 2 shows a day for Panto. You're talking maybe 3,000 people in through the doors in one, you know, every day. That I hope I'm wrong, but I don't hold out much hope for that, for the Panto and stuff. And I do think, I never really thought about the people thinking, well, we don't need as many, we don't need that sort of much stuff anymore, which is a scary thought. But I do think TV and film may start up before theatre. In fact, I think it will. It makes more sense because it can be outdoors, it can be a bit more controlled. But and it is the worry for those smaller venues when Panto is their lifeblood all year, and the communities look forward to it every year, and they need it. It funds their year. So
I think, no, absolutely. And I think certainly TV and production companies, I think there will be a thirst for those people to get stuff up and running again. You know, Netflix, you know, Sky, people, I mean, BBC as well, really. You know, your subscription channels need content. So they you know, they will want to start back up and do stuff on a smaller scale.
I think there'll be people ready to go as soon as they can, because they can have all these Zoom meetings and creative meetings and edits and pre-productions with makeup, costume and all that ready to go, you know, so they can be literally in the starting blocks. Theatre may be a slow burner. Which sort of leads me on to in slowly,
which is a question that I was thinking about earlier, actually, when we were on. I was walking. I was talking to my wife with the dog, and I was talking about what happens to the creative industry when in that situation. So if they say that theatres can't open, but filming production can start, does that mean that as self-employed creatives who are being at the moment supposedly being supported in June, does that mean that stops? Because you know, do they say, well, actually you can work? Well, yeah, but we can't. I mean, that, you know,
only certain people can.
Certain people can. So you know, that's a big worry, and I think for everyone. But I don't know what the answer is.
No, I don't.
And I don't think anybody does, buddy. I don't. That's the thing. That's the whole, because it's unprecedented stuff. I don't think anybody does really. People have ideas. People have hopes. Of course, we want, you know, it'd be great. Oh, yeah, look, theatre starts back up in September again, and we can all crack on. We all hope that when take the hit over the summer, but nobody knows. Nobody. And I'm less. I think I'm more fearful than I am sort of hopeful in a way. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm more like realistic rather than optimistic. You know what I mean? I think it's like, I can't see it happening.
Yeah.
And because people who had the jobs that stopped, I mean, obviously yours isn't going on, Kai, now, but others might be in the same boat. So it's like there's even more actors looking for work as well, because everyone's starting to prep.
it's the long runners as well, isn't it? You know, I've got friends in West End. Well, you know, what's the West End shows kind of thing, you know, and they're big houses to fill with a lot of people in. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
Well,
well,
a voiceover artist right now, because that's the business to be in, isn't it? Really, voiceovers.
well, it is, but even that's saturated, isn't it? You know,
Well,
so
yeah.
we had Kelly Condren, who spent a lot of time in front of the camera on Hollyoaks, and then the original cast of Hollyoaks, and basically has been doing voiceover work for the past sort of 5 or 6 years, if not longer. And she was saying, you know, it's great that people are setting up home studios and able to do, but there are so many people already doing it that it's a difficult thing to break.
And it's you know, and again, it's okay setting up your own studio now. You know, you've got to get the. You know, you just got to get the work, isn't it? You're not guaranteed that as well. You know, as we know. So it's
And once you've invested in the money into getting all the stuff, you're not just going to not do it again, are you? So there's going to be even more.
As we know, you know, nothing's a guarantee in this crazy thing that we do. So
no, absolutely not. But you know, I hope that, like you're saying, I think some of the West End theatres, I don't know, they'll be supported probably.
Yeah.
But you think about some of the big theatres that, you know, we went to with the Full Monty, and some, you know, when are those going to open again? Those really big, you know, 1,200 seater. You know, when are they going to be able to make that money?
Because they know, like they're receiving houses, aren't they? Do you know? They rely
Theatre
on
Glasgow, places like that. I mean, that's huge, and
they rely on the big shows going there.
Yeah. And I mean, once I think you're right, Liz, that once the sanction is lifted, if it is a sanction, whatever it is lifted, then there will be a real thirst, so that the big shows will get an audience. You know. Mr. D, Andy Dunn, who we worked with, who was doing Band of Gold, you know, something like that could easily go back out and will fill houses because people want to get back out. You know, that I'm sure the Full Monty will go back out because people will want that type of, you know, feel good. But can we have 800 people in a building?
Yeah, and I do think as well, like I think you touched on it, Liz, as well, is that there'd be a certain age will feel safer going, but you know, a certain age won't feel safer going. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and especially sadly Panto time as well. You know, the old matinees with the senior citizens and things and all that. They may not want to be there, so I think there'll be a surge of people wanting to go, but I think sales will be slower because of. People will be still wary, I think, won't they?
Absolutely. And I mean, theatre generally has an older population, an old audience population. And so, you know, how's that going to work? But yeah. Sorry, Liz, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, and the kids won't go on their own to Panto, will they? So, so the parents have to take. The parents are like, oh, no, we're not taking the kids. So it's a vicious circle, isn't it?
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's try and move on to something a little lighter.
Let me just there's a couple of things come up in chat.
Okay. Go for it.
Just going off some of the stuff we've been talking about. So Kazi says that her husband's made a wine rack out of a pallet. Well done, Kazi's
nice one. You can make everything out of a pallet.
She also said Glee Club was so good, went to the opening night in Doncaster. Beth had her tickets, but I don't think, unfortunately, she's been able to go. Beth also asks, Kai, are you going to be, hopefully, if everything does come back, are you going to be doing Panto in Stoke again?
If everything comes back, yeah.
Yes, please.
Big if, but yeah,
yes, please.
Because you've done that for a few years, haven't you?
There's a team of lads there, a team of guys, Johnny and Christian, direct it and stuff for Kudos, and they sort of have they produce it for Stoke, but Johnny's a local lad and they do their own thing, so they get who, you know, they get mates for the boys and all that, you know, jobs for the boys, I should say. So yeah, and girls, but hopefully, yeah.
And how many years have you been doing that?
If I go, it'll be sixth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Anything else, Mark?
Yeah, Sarah Mulligan, who tunes in every week, she's watching with her mum, who loves Kai. So, hi, Sarah's mum.
Mum's favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenny White's in. if Full Monty comes back to Glasgow, you need 800 people. You don't need 800 people, just her. She's quite happily be an 800-person crowd.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Is
that it?
Yeah, Michelle, Full Monty was amazing.
Very good.
Some of the highlights of the chat.
James Redmond's still with us, is he?
Yeah, he says this this 4-way screen we've got looks like Sesame Street.
Fair enough. Thanks,
It
James.
was Big Bird.
James.
Oh,
It's
fair
flat
enough.
feet.
Okay, so last question on here from me, which is career highlights, a wow moment, something that you went, oh god, that was amazing, or whatever it might be. Can I start with Kai?
Yeah, I was very lucky. I think I was in Torchwood, and we did a 4th series of Torchwood. We did 3 series of Torchwood, all set in Cardiff, all brilliant, all huge, from BBC 3, BBC 2 to BBC 1.
Because you're Welsh, right?
I am Welsh. I am Welsh. Just in case you don't know. Yeah. Just in case you don't know. And and we didn't know whether it was going to be a 4th season or not. And so we had like a bit of a year off, and then they called us. The producer phoned up and said, "Look, we would like you to make next year, if you can be available, where there will be a 4th series of Torchwood, but it's going to be a co-production with Stars in America." And that was like, oh, that's amazing. Anyway, ended up filming in Los Angeles for 6 months, and we moved over there to West Hollywood, and we filmed the whole series on the Warner Brothers lot on the old ER stage.
Oh, how horrible!
So that was the big wow moment. The wow moment for me was the first day that I was filming on set with Eve, and the stage had been used for Casablanca back in the day. All sorts of stuff filmed there, and they cast Bill Pullman in the series as well in Miracle Day. And Bill came down to introduce himself to me and Eve because he was in it, and he watched our first take. And I was standing on the Hollywood lot, Warner Brothers lot, talking to Bill Pullman about Anton Deck, Alien Space Odyssey, and I went an alien autopsy with him and all that. So that was a pinching moment. But yeah, LA, I think, doing seasons 4 of Torchwood.
Why did Torchwood finish? Was it? I mean, do you know? Or?
It was quite sad, really, because I think they wanted Torchwood to go ahead again, and the Stars Network did want it to go ahead again, and it was going to. And Russell was over there writing Torchwood, and he was going to write other things for Showtime at the time. And Russell was over there with his partner Andrew, and sadly Andrew got really sick, and Russell stopped all his work and came home to care for Andrew. So the Torchwood sort of was put on like a hiatus then, and sort of like, you know, while Russell cared for Andrew and lots of other things. But yeah, so it just never really had a life since then. But we do all the big finish stuff, all the audio things, and that keeps it going. And the fans are still out there because it's just so loyal. Because of Doctor Who, there's a fandom out there for it. People enjoy it, and it's all available at the moment on BBC iPlayer. By the way, all 4 seasons.
Do you know what? Because actually, to be fair, I'm not a big Doctor Who fan. I can't get into it. It's just, I don't know what it is. But I did enjoy Torchwood. There was a bit more of an edge to Torchwood.
Yeah. It was good. It was great fun. Brilliant show.
Yeah. And you do the Comic Cons as well, don't you? Which that fascinates me. Honestly. It fascinates me. And the reason, Mike, because I don't think you know this story, the reason I found out about this was that we were coming back from, I don't know, we'd been having lunch or something, and we were in Bromley, and we were going back towards the stage door, and there was a lovely guy there with a poster, and he said he's Kai. He said he's Kai. Is Kai coming? I said, oh, actually, he's just coming now. Just if you wait. And the poster was of a picture that Kai had taken. You'd taken with him at one of the Comic Cons, and it was the Titanic, wasn't it?
He asked me to hold him. Yeah.
And then best thing I've ever seen. That.
Yeah. Remember, it was laminated.
I'm looking at that picture, going, how has he got that picture? And then it was Kai saying, "Oh, well, he'd been to a Comic-Con."
The Comic Cons, they're amazing, and they're a big business for the people who run them and hold them as well, because it's all sci-fi, fantasy geeks and stuff. And there's YouTube Comic Cons, there's TikTok ones, and there's all gaming ones and stuff. And actually, they've been amazing. And literally, when we first started Torture, we were told, you'll probably get invited to do a few Comic Cons. And I'm still getting invited to do them now. I've been all over the world. The fans are so loyal. They're just loyal. They love it. And they're diehards. Anybody likes the Trekkies, the Star Wars and all that, they love it, and they're brilliant, every one of them.
Because you're a Trekkie, aren't you, Mike?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I'm a lover of all kind of geekdom and everything. I mean, behind me I've got comic book art from Chris Bertram and all sorts of shit in here. I've got my little peg Darth Vader, and so yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it all, and I was genuinely quite excited when we were having you on. As I love that 4th series of Torture. I think it's one of the best things that had been put out for a long time. I thought it was great.
Yeah, good fun, man.
Yeah.
Very good. Great answer. Love it. Liz?
I don't know, I can top that.
Of course you can.
I've met Tom Cruise, will that do?
You mean the biggest star in movie history?
What, the Tom Cruise? That's pretty good.
It's not bad, is it? That wasn't my answer, but...
Whoa. What do you mean it wasn't your answer? When did you meet Tom Cruise?
Well, I used to work, when I'd done drama school, I worked at the Donmar Warehouse in Covent Garden as front of house. And Nicole Kidman was there, so I've met her as well when she was doing the Blue Room, and we got invited obviously to the press night and to the party afterwards, and of course Mr. Cruise turns up, and the guy that he is obviously is a very lovely guy, isn't he? And he's more than happy to go around and chat to everybody and all that.
I don't know, Liz, I've never met him, so I have no idea.
And yeah, so he kind of just was working the room and came up and then, "Hi, I'm Tom." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Who are you? And we were like, "Oh, we just work front of house." But he was more than happy to stand there chatting to us, so yeah, it was lovely. And he is small.
He is small, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, Mike.
Well, it helps when you're under 5'5" if you've got quite a few million, and Nicole Kidman.
Is he under 5'5"?
No.
Lee's under 5'5".
I'm not under 5'5", and I haven't got a few million or Nicole Kidman.
Well, there you go then.
Not that I'd want Nicole Kidman, because I have my lovely wife.
Yeah,
so it makes,
absolutely.
yeah. Should be watching.
Irish.
So that wasn't what you were going to say.
Well, no, but it can be.
No. I want to hear your other one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a bit more down to earth, I suppose. I was just going to pick up on a job that I did that I absolutely loved, and it was at Harrogate Theatre, a play called Up on the Roof, and it's a 5 actors in it, and it's all about a cappella singing. So we did like 5-part harmonies, and I absolutely loved it. Does anyone know Bob Golding?
I don't think I do, actually.
Bob Golding. Do you know him, Kai?
I know the name, yeah. I've heard the name.
Yeah, the name.
Yeah, I'm sure that you were friends with him on Facebook or something anyway, but he was in it as well. And yeah, no, it was just a really good ensemble piece, and it's just one of the highlights, basically. I just loved doing it. Every night was just an absolute joy. So that's mine.
Well, big shout out to Harrogate Theatre, because they love those ensemble pieces, and they've been doing a rep company for a few years now as well.
I was really looking forward to go there with the Glee Club, actually.
Yeah.
I've never been to Harrogate either. I was really looking forward to it.
Harrogate's beautiful as well.
Yeah, it's lovely, yeah.
It's where the England manager lives, He lives in Harrogate.
He does, yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He does, and the story is...
I'm Welsh, I support Wales. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So my Gareth Southgate story is that...
He's taller than you.
He's definitely taller than me. I met Gareth a few times. But
Gaz.
The reason he lives in Harrogate was when he was the manager of Middlesbrough, he flew into Leeds and Bradford Airport, and they sent a taxi for a driver for him, and they drove through Harrogate. And as they were driving through, the taxi driver, the guy said, as we're driving along, could you just point out places for me because I need to find somewhere to live? And the guy said, as they were driving through Harrogate, said, this is Harrogate. It's beautiful. It's not too far to Middlesbrough from here. Have a look round here. And he's lived there ever since.
I did a stand-up gig many years ago when I used to do stand-up. I did a stand-up gig in Harrogate.
With Gareth Southgate?
With Gareth Southgate. And my opening line was, it's really nice to be in Harrogate where all our fucking money is. Gig went really well.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So if you live around Leeds and then you think, look at the size of Leeds, why is there all these homeless people and all this poverty? I'll skip all the politics. It's because they all live in Harrogate. That's where everybody who owns everything lives in Harrogate. That's where all money is.
Well,
a well-to-do place.
Once upon a time. I just want to go back to your stand-up gig and career. How long did that last?
I did about 2 years.
Did you?
Yeah. So when I was,
that's a long set.
It was great. Me and Ken Dodd hold the world record.
James Redmond doesn't do sets that long.
I did. Once I'd finished with the band, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit similar, something in front of an audience. So for about 2 years, I just packed up my little Citroen Saxo and drove around everywhere and did stand up for a while, and then realised it was really hard and stopped.
Fair enough.
So I think I keep trying to get comedians on here as well. But everybody who I knew was stopped.
James Redmond.
James Redmond's coming on, but I don't think he can.
But that doesn't count.
Of course it does, James. Looking forward to speaking to you.
He has said in the chat that he's not coming on.
Well done.
Has he? Is that what he said?
Yeah, he just said not a chance.
He will. Good. Where was I when you were doing this round the world trip? What year was this?
What year was it? So, I'll have been working at O2. So that's any time between 2007.
That's a big venue for a stand-up.
Yeah. It did well.
Do you know?
Started big.
Yeah, I was there opening night.
Because I was in London at the time, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think you were in Islington.
The reason, we had to slum it at times. Yeah. The reason I asked that is Mike and I have known each other since school, so I've never heard that story before. I didn't know you did a bit of stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, it surprises me, Mike, quite frankly, but I'm not surprised that it stopped.
I once
I'd take some balls. That is.
It does, yeah.
I was really pleased with myself for one joke, and it was essentially that Gok Wan is an anagram of Go Wank. And I was really pleased with that. And I told it, and I was doing it for a little bit, and then I heard Jack D do it on Comedy Roadshow, and I was like, oh, shit. I can't do that joke ever again.
Oh, did Jack D nick it from you?
No. It's an obvious joke, so he's obviously thought of it at the same time as me. My joke was better, but,
Well, yeah. Okie dokie. Liz, what was your story? Oh, we've got it. The Harrogate Theatre. We did it. We did it. Marvellous. Well, I'm out of questions, Mike. Have you got anything to ask? You don't have to because we're well within time. We're okay to stop.
Well, let's stop because I think this has been fabulous, and I don't want to ruin it with any of my inane questions.
What's your wow moment, Lee?
What's my wow moment?
Yeah.
Why I'd have to think about that. So I've got two, but I'll just say one because I'll probably save the other one. Was one of my first TV jobs, which actually it wasn't my first. My first TV jobs were shameless, but one of my first TV jobs was The Syndicate, which it was the same series of The Syndicate that Kai was in, and also thank you for asking, Liz, because Matthew and Anthony Lewis, who are coming on the show next Wednesday, were also both in that same. And I remember getting onto set of the Syndicate, and Matthew Lewis was there, and I shook hands, we said hello. And then there was a guy stood next to him, and he sort of turned around and it was really cold. I can't remember what time of year it was, but I remember it being really, really cold, and I had a big puffer jacket on. And this guy said, "Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Tim." And I said, "Oh, nice to meet you, Tim." And then I sort of shook his hand and then looked up, and of course it was Timothy Spall. And for some reason I'd been at the read-through, but I don't remember. Kai, was Tim at the read-through?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember that. I remember him coming in going, "Fuck, that's Tim Spall." Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
And so I was on thinking, oh my God, this is Timothy Spall. This is like acting royalty. Yeah. And then we started just before the take. Kay Mellor, who wrote it, she was directing that episode, and I remember her saying to me, "Right, could you and Tim just improvise an argument, and then Lee, when you feel it's right, just come in with the first line." And so we started improvising, and all that was going through my head was, "You're fucking improvising an argument with Timothy Spall."
Brilliant.
It was like I'd only just started in my career, really, and it was brilliant. But then what was really interesting, he's got a very specific way of working, which is, he sort of leaves a little gap. So you deliver. So we were arguing, and then when I felt it was right, I came in with the first line, and then he sort of leaves a tiny little gap before he responds. So the conversation doesn't flow as it perhaps would do, and so I was like, oh, and then I delivered my line, and then there was another little gap, and then he delivered his line, and I mean, God, he's absolutely fantastic, but it just threw me. I was just like,
not know his cues. He waited for you to stop talking.
No. I think he was, because there was a lot of people in the scene, and so it was one of the first times that I'd worked in television anywhere where people talk over one another, and because we were on single camera, obviously if you're talking over somebody, if it's your shot, the other person doesn't say their line over yours, so you've got the clean audio. So I think there was something to do with that, but it didn't have to throw me.
Bloody hell, that's cool though.
Yeah, really cool. I'm working. So I worked with Tim Spall, but that's one of my highlights.
That's brilliant.
Good.
And to improvise with him as well, that'd be brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah. So there we go. But as people say, when you're working with somebody like that, you've just got to go toe to toe with them. You know what I mean? You've just got to. You've just got to shake yourself and say your line.
Yeah.
Say your line in the right place.
Say it right.
Say your right.
Yeah. Don't look directly in the camera.
Exactly. Although I do remember her saying to me, "Oh, you've got quite a wide shot, so if you want to move around a little bit." I was shitting myself so much I never moved a muscle. She was like, "Stay still, don't move. It's not the theatre. Don't move." Yeah.
Stay grounded.
But anyway, there we go. So I think
when I did the Emmerdale over Christmas, and I had an umbrella because it was raining, and they were like, "Liz, can you just move it down like half an inch?" I'm like. And then I was just stuck there like that, thinking, my arm's shaking. I'm like, I can't move because if I move it, I'm like really blocking somebody. It's awful.
Oh, I know. Good.
Props. Oh,
yeah.
What's happening there? Well, look, lovely people. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure and lovely to see you both.
And you too. Nice to meet you.
And you.
Hi, thanks very much.
Thanks for coming on. Joy. We will end the show. Feel free to log off. Feel free to stay on. It's entirely up to you. But much love to the family. Stay safe. Keep well.
Yes.
Likewise.
And hopefully see you on the other side.
I hope you make a full recovery, Mike.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, well,
much appreciated.
Love to the family. Love to Brad. See you soon.
Will do. Love to the family. Bye.
Take care.
See you later. Bye.
Aren't they a lovely pair?
They are a lovely pair. I don't think you're allowed to say that. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Lovely to catch up with them. Fantastic chat. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I haven't been unwell, but for the last few days, I've just been starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? Just with just getting cabin fever a little bit, and just like, and this really, it just gives me something to look forward to. And I got a lovely message, a lovely message on social media as well from a couple of people, actually, a couple of lovely messages saying thanks for doing this, and it really helps sort of pass the time.